Let's go Vikings! Skull, 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 skull. We already beat the Patriots today. We're 9-2 now. Yeah. Alright, let's see the player stats of the Vikings. Kirk Cousins threw for 299 yards. Justin Jefferson had 11 yards. 11 passing yards, I meant. Dalvin rushing. Here's the rushing. Dalvin Cook had 42 yards. Running yards, I meant. 2 carrying yards. Alexander Madison had 11 running yards and 3 carrying. And KJ Osborne had 1 carrying and 5 yards. And Kirk Cousins only had 1 carrying and -1 yards. Here's the receiving. Justin Jefferson had 9 receiving yards and 139 yards. Adam Thielen had 9 receiving yards and 61 yards. TJ Hawkinson had 5 receiving yards and 43 yards. Jalen Reagor had 1 receiving yards and 25 yards. Johnny Mund had 2 receiving yards and 20 yards. Dalvin Cook had 4 receiving yards and 14 yards. And KJ Osborne had 1 receiving yards and 8 yards. Yeah. Here's the defense. Harrison Smith had 7 tackles and 1 assist. And Jordan Hicks had 6 tackles and 3 assists. Eric Kendricks had 5 tackles and 3 assists. Duke Shelley had 4 tackles and 2 assists. Zadarius Smith had 3 tackles and 0 assists. Cameron Bynum had 2 tackles and 1 assist. Daniel Hunter had 2 tackles and 0 assists. Jonathan Bullard had 2 tackles and 0 assists. Patrick Peterson had 2 tackles and 0 assists. Harrison Phillips had 1 tackle and 3 assists. James Lynch had 1 tackle and 1 assist. Chandon Sullivan had 1 tackle and 1 assist. Ross Blacklock had 1 tackle and 0 assists. Dalvin Cook had 0 tackles and 0 assists. Troy Dye had 0 tackles and 0 assists. Patrick Jones, too, had 0 tackles and 0 assists. And Jalen Naylor had 0 tackles and 0 assists. Here are the kick returns. Keeney Nwangu had 5 returns and 166 yards and scored a touchdown, 1 touchdown. And Jalen Reagor had 1 return and 11 yards. Greg Joseph had 2 field goal attempts and 2 misses. Right, I think. Ryan Wright and the punting Ryan Wright had 158 yards. And here are the touchdown assists. 1 from Kirk Cousins, 1 from Justin Jefferson, 1 from Adam Thielen, 1 from TJ Hawkinson. Alright, here are the stats for the Patriots. Mac Jones had 382 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ramondre Stevenson had 7 carrying and 36 yards. Damian Harris had 5 carrying and 16 yards. Kendrick Bourne had 1 carrying and -7 yards. Alright, here's this one. Receiving. Devontae Parker had 4 receiving yards and 80 yards. Ramondre Stevenson had 9 receiving yards and 76 yards. Nelson Aguilar had 6 receiving yards and 65 yards. Hunter Henry had 3 receiving yards and 63 yards. Jacoby Myers had 3 receiving yards and 62 yards. Kendrick Bourne had 3 receiving yards and 36 yards. Here are the defense for the Patriots. Kyle Duggar had 8 tackles and 1 assist. Jonathan Jones had 6 tackles and 1 assist. Devin McCourty had 4 tackles and 3 assists. Dietrich Wise Jr. had 4 tackles and 1 assist. Adrian Phillips had 4 tackles and 0 assists. Javon Bentley had 3 tackles and 4 assists. Jalen Mills had 3 tackles and 1 assist. Raekwon McMillan had 3 tackles and 0 assists. Miles Bryant had 3 tackles and 0 assists. Onfree Jennings had 2 tackles and 0 assists. Lawrence Guy had 1 tackle and 6 assists. 6 assists, I meant. Devon Godshock had 1 tackle and 3 assists. Jelani Tavai had 1 tackle and 1 assist. Matthew Judon, I think you pronounce it, or Judon, had 1 tackle and 2 assists. Joshua Uche had 1 tackle and 0 assists. Jack Jones had 1 tackle and 0 assists. Jabari Peppers had 0 tackles and 2 assists. Brendan Schooler had 0 tackles and 0 assists. Mac Wilson had 0 tackles and 0 assists. Marcus Jones had 0 tackles and 0 assists. Carl Davis had 0 tackles and 1 assist. And alright, here we go. Here are the kick returns. Marcus Jones had 1 return and 46 yards. Punt returns, Marcus Jones had 2 returns and 11 yards. Here are the kicking. Nick Folk had 4 field goal attempts. Punting, Michael Pilardi had 123 yards. So that was good. And here are the team stats. Patriots had 40. Here are the team stats. Patriots had 409 yards, and the Vikings had 358 yards. And the passing yards, the Vikings only had 301, and the Patriots only had 364 passing yards. The rushing yards, the Vikings had 57 rushing yards, and the Patriots only had 45 rushing yards. In yards per play, the Vikings only had 5.4 yards per play. The Patriots only had 7.4 yards per play. And the Vikings only had 23 first downs, and the Patriots had 17 first downs. And the third down efficiency, Vikings only had 8 and 15. The Patriots only had 3 and 10. The fourth down efficiency had the Patriots only had 1 of them, and only did 1 of them, and it was incomplete. And the total plays, the Vikings only had 66 total plays, and the Patriots only have 55 total plays. So yeah, good for the Vikings. We win on Thanksgiving night. Skol Vikings. Woo! We're 9-2 now. Now next Sunday we play the New York Jets at home on December 4th, 2022. We hope we go 10-2. That would be a good thing. So yeah.